Good evening, everybody. It's Maxine coming from Unlocking the Fearless You. Now, today we've got an extra special, time, because I'm taking over from Herman today. And not only am I taking over from Herman, but I'm also doing my one as well. I feel like Bradley #2. You know, I'm not doing my 20-minute slot, not doing a 40-minute slot. I'm not even doing an hour. So here we go. Let's keep you all interested. If you've got any questions, then ask me. You know me, I'm quite happy to be open and honest with you. And anything you want to ask, you can do that too. So today on Unlocking the Fearless You, we are going to be talking about fear. I know. Look at me go. The fear fighter on Unlocking the Fearless You, and we're talking about fear. But not only are we talking about fear, we're going to talk about your future. We're going to talk about your goals, and we're going to talk about what you can do about them if you're worried or if you get any kind of anxiety. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. So guys, ladies and gentlemen, whether it's daytime, nighttime, through the night, or wherever you are in the world, I'm happy for you to be here. If you are going to come on replay, then #replay. Then obviously you can ask questions during that time, and I can still get back to you. That's not a problem. So today's topic, as I said, fear, which is a false evidence appearing real. As we all know, fear is to do in here. It's all to do with the mind. It's not there, but you know what? It's a really, really powerful thing, because our brains are there to help us. As I've told you before, it's there to help us, to save us, to, back in the times of, after the dinosaurs, cavemen times, it was like fear was there. So anytime, something used to chase us, we used to run. Not me, because obviously I wasn't born back then. So that makes a difference. So yeah, it's very much that, with the fear, we don't need to use it as much anymore, but we do. And for some reason, fear seems to be the top priority of a lot of things, whether, it's doing what I'm doing today. Nikki says, we have no pick. You've got no pick at all. Can you hear me though, Nikki? Let me know if you can see me or whether you can hear me, because obviously I don't want to carry on if you can't. If anyone can double check that for me, that would be amazing. Nick, can you hear me? Let me know. I will carry on. Nope, nobody's letting me know. So we'll just carry on anyway, and hopefully that you can. Okay. So with a lot of things that you find is, I forgot my space now. I don't know where I am. A lot of things that happen, I can hear, but you can't see me. Right, let me take my camera down, and then what I'll do, I'll put it back up again. Let's give it another try. Can you see me now? You can hear and see me. Right, fantastic. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to see. Right, Nikki, can you see now? If not, you need to come out and come back in again, my lovely, because it might be on your side as well. So we'll carry on talking about what we was talking about now. Right, okay, so the topic on fear. So, it's false evidence appearing real, and it's all in the mind. It's all about keeping you safe. But fear is such a hard thing. No, oh, Nikki, go back out, my love, and then come yourself back in again. It might be just on your side. If someone else can see me, then it is just you, I'm afraid. Sorry to be such a pain in the bottom. Yeah, so that's basically what we talk about today. So when it comes down to, so you can see me and hear me. Fabulous, Susan. Thank you very much, my lovely. It's nice and early up where you are today. Okay, so today's topic, fear and belief. Believe in yourself. This is the biggest thing, right? Is a lot of people, the reasons why they fear is because they don't believe in themselves. They don't believe in what they're doing. They don't believe in what they say. They don't believe in anything. It is very much, apart from, what they're doing on a day-to-day basis, they fear, they get anxiety, they get worries. And this is the problem. And the thing is, it's a strong force to break. You've literally got to break those chains. You've got to believe in yourself in every single thing that you are doing. Because when you do that, instead of actually looking at it that a fear is going to paralyze you in stopping you doing what you want to do in your life, you've got to look at it that this fear is going to make you take action. It's going to make you change. And by changing, it was like me, myself, I do not like broadcasting. I do not like going live on TV. I do not like going in front of the camera. And I was like, I just can't do that. And the fact is, what it does is when you take action, and Bradley's like, Max, you can do this. You can. You know, you want to get yourself out there and you want to get yourself broadcasting. And I was like, okay. And when I look at my first live, and I actually went back this week and looked at my first live that I did, it was like I was so quiet and I was like, hi, you know, and now look at me, you know. And this is the thing, it's like everything, when you do something for the first time, it is so hard. Taking that first step is your hardest step, and that's what you've got to take. Adam's put, I'd love to do a live with you one day. Well, you never know, Adam. You know, it's all about positivity. You know, perhaps you could have me on yours, on your live. That's not a problem. That's absolutely fine. So yeah, so it is all about, you know, making that change in your mind, making that change to say, look, this is not going to paralyze me, but it is going to make me take action. Yeah. By doing that, you've got to make your key decisions in your life, whether you've decided that you're going to have children. I mean, when you have children, no one's ever had children. And then all of a sudden you have children and your biggest fear is, can I cope with them? How am I going to know it wants feeding? How am I going to know it wants changing its nappy? How am I going to know that it's cold or it's too hot? Do you know what? Everybody has these fears to start with. People fear going on live. People fear doing their driving test. People fear going for a job interview. But once you're there, you know, you've literally just got to take action and just go with it. Live your life your way that you want to live. Don't let fear hold you back on anything you do, because the thing that you find is when that happens, right, and I'm going to bring it down a little bit, when that happens is that then your life is not your choice. And if your life isn't your choice, then you're not living your own life. And if you're not living your own life, then what is the point? You know, you want to be your own person. And that's the way you've got to look at it. And the best thing to do is look at perspective. You know, look at things from a different perspective. Whether, you know, you list the pros and the cons of doing something. You know, my pros and cons of coming with Yes You Can. You know, the pros are, you know, I learn how to broadcast. I go into public speaking. You know, when I first met Bradley back in August, you know, public speaking wasn't my forte at all. I was scared. You know, I was like, what if people don't like me? What if what I put over they don't like? But this is what happened. This is what happened. Yeah. Then this is what happened. Okay. But it was only because I took the action to do that the fact is I then got this. And the thing is I look at them and I have them at the front of my screen every single day. Right. So I know that every time I do a live, even if I feel, you know, my heart is racing, even if I feel my stomach is turning over, no matter what it is, they sit in front of me. And it's enough to say to me, it's okay, you can do this no matter what. And if I can do this, then you can do this. It is literally just overcoming that fear. Right. So I'm going to go through obviously a couple of these like I always do. Right. So we've got Adam has put. Oh, I can't seem to bring them up. Oh, hang on. There you go. After today's session, oh my God, I love session. Totally different to last week's session, where I even pulled my mental health worker and opened up to her. And if you asked, I have not got a clue where that confidence came from. I do. I know exactly where that come from, Adam, because we had a talk this week, did we not? I rang you and we had a chat on the phone and I gave you a good talking to. And it's like, this week you've become a whole new person. You've become more positive in yourself. Every message that you've put over, you've become more positive. I even texted you yesterday and said, how are you? And you said, I'm all good. Yeah. Because what's happened is by having that little somebody say, look, you can do this. You know you can do it. Think of your gratitude. Think of your accomplishments. Think of everything that you need to think of. Yeah. Think of it in a positive way. And by doing that, your mind has changed and thought positively. And by every day you thinking positively, you've now gone and done your sessions, your counselling session, and you've gone in there in a positive way. But then if you have a negative thing on that particular week or that particular day, and then you're going to think negatively. And that's where you've got to make sure this doesn't change. You've got to keep that on the right way, because if you don't, and then you're going to start doing this again. And that's not what we want. Okay. So make a promise to yourself and make a promise to me. Keep going the way you're going, and you'll be absolutely fine. Don't worry about that. Okay. So we've also got Susan in the house. Be yourself is freedom. It's exactly that. It is freedom. I'm losing half of my messages here. I can't really see exactly what I'm doing. We've got Greg Walker. Up the Greg Walker. How you doing, my lovely? Uh, oh, look, I'm his sister now. I'm loving it, Greg. I'm seeing you in February. I'm looking forward to it. We're having the picture. We're going to hug. We're going to squeeze. And I'm going to talk your ear off. Okay? So that's all good. Yeah, Greg, nice to see you, my darling. I'm glad that you're here. Courage is exactly that, you know, and courage comes with confidence. Courage comes with self-esteem. Courage comes with positivity. Yeah, all these come in hand. Yeah, same as negativity comes with depression. It comes with self-loathing. It comes with self-destructiveness. Yeah, it's no good for anybody. So that's the reason why is when you become positive, lots of other positive things happen. And that's what's happening to Adam right now. So you've also got everyone saying hello to each other, which is amazing. Susan put, Adam, you have been using the tools I gave you, love. See, there you go, Adam. We're all helping you as much as we possibly can. Absolutely brilliant. Yes, he is. Absolutely fabulous. So as I was saying, perspective. Look at it in a perspective. Is the fact is that you list your pros and your cons. You know, listed for me, public speaking. What are the cons of it? Well, I could be laughed off the front of the stage. Is that going to be likely to happen? Probably not. You know, are they going to sit there and trip me up in something that I've said? Do they know my story? No, they don't. So let's look at the positive side of it. You know, by me going on stage, how am I going to think? Well, I'm going to think, wow, I can do this. If I go up on stage, how am I going to feel? Wow, I've just helped somebody else out. And this is what I want to do. So, you know, and there are so many of them that you can list. And the fact is, that's just a couple there and then, literally just off the top of my head. And the thing is what you've got is that you need to write these down, because when you have these on paper, like I've told you all before, when you have things on paper and they're in front of you, they materialize because you look at them every single day. All right. So that's what you need to do. You need to take action. And then what happens when you take action is that you look at what is likely going to happen, what is the least likely going to happen, and what is the general that is going to happen. Yeah. Look at your worst case scenario. Look at your best case scenario. Now, what you've got to do is you've got to cover all bases. No matter what you do and where you go, cover all bases. If you feel that you've got fear or you've got an anxiety situation coming up, sit yourself in a corner, calm yourself down. I know it's easier said than done, but you've got to calm yourself down. And then you've got to think, try and think as straight as you possibly can. What am I doing? Why am I doing it? How am I going to do it? You know, break it down into chunks, break it down into segments, build your foundation of what you're actually doing. And once you build that foundation, you can then build and build and build. And once you get there, when you get to the top of that building, you're going to be like king of a castle. You're going to be like, wow, or a queen. You're going to be, wow, it's going to be amazing. You know, but you're never going to feel that unless you've built this. So build that first, okay? And then obviously what you've got to do is you've got to trust yourself. Trust yourself to make that decision in your life. Because at the end of the day, if you don't trust yourself, any decision that you make is going to fall apart. That's a major part of your foundation, is trusting yourself, okay? And then we go over to decisions. What is a positive outcome even if you fail? Susan, I'm coming to that, my lovely. You know, you're fast forwarding before I've even started. I mean, this is a broadcast. It's an extra special long broadcast. Give me a chance, lady. So decisions, you know, if you find it really hard to make lots and lots of decisions, then don't. Okay. You know, do a spider graph. So, you know, you get your little bubble in the middle and you put in what it is you're looking towards. Say, for argument's sake, you know, you've got to pass your test. Okay. You've got 6 months to pass your test because there's something big's going to happen. There's 6 months, you've got this bubble and you do your lots of little legs off of it to make it into your spider graph. Yeah. So then what you do is you look at one thing and you go, right, I know that I've got to learn how to get in the car, signal, maneuver. You know, I've got to make sure my tires are right. I've got to make sure that I've got petrol in the car. I've got gas if you're in America. I've got to make sure that, you know, that I can pull out at a certain safe distance, or I can pull out and do the right mile an hour, kilometre an hour. It's so hard when you're in a different country trying to cover all bases. Yeah, so it's very much that you've got to look at every aspect. But if you can't make these decisions and all of a sudden you think about your driving test and you're like, oh my God, I can't do this, you know, and you go into complete panic attack, you know, do your spider graph, you know, and then what you do is after you've done that spider graph, you go, oh, you know, it's come down to that I've pulled out at the right mile an hour, tick that box. Oh, I did a 3-point turn, tick that box. And then when you've gone round, you look at it and you go, do you know what? I can actually see what I've achieved. I can actually see how well I've done. And by doing that, you'll automatically change the emotional state in your mind. And by doing that, what will happen, that will make you think more positively. Your anxiety will be less, your fear will be less, and you'll be able to move forward with it. So I hope that helps on that side of it. So, you could also try and get yourself a routine, whether that is to do with work, whether that's to do with your meals. It could be something as simple as doing your breakfast, lunch, dinner, any kind of snacks at a certain time of the day. That's when you do your meals. It could be the fact is that you have activity set. You go jogging at 7 in the morning and you play badminton at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and you play football at 9. I don't know. It could be anything. But the fact is, by setting these activities, by doing all these little bits in your life, and it makes it so much easier that when you have got a decision to make, you haven't got to make, oh, what am I going to have for dinner today? Or what time am I going to do dinner for? Or what activity have I got later on today? Oh, and I've got to talk about business. Oh, and I've got to do about life. Oh, and it's like and. And there is just so much to it. But the thing is, if you try and set everything you possibly can into motion and set it into a routine, when it comes down to you making decisions, it'll feel like you're only doing 1 or 2 or maybe 3, and everything else is set as a normal thing. So that's another thing, is if you're making decisions and you find it quite hard, then set yourself routines. Okay. Nothing changes is the next one. Now, with nothing changes unless we change it. As I've said to you guys before, it's all about taking action. It's all about, taking the action that you need to take to get where you need to get. I mean, I've got a friend of mine. She's got hardly no confidence. She finds it really hard to make certain decisions. And when she goes in front of other people, she becomes, I wouldn't say like a scared mouse, because that's a bit harsh. I would say it's more like she goes inward into herself, and she'll just put up with whatever gets given to her. Now, I turned and I said to her, she's in a situation, she doesn't like being in this situation, but she can't get herself out of it. So I turned and I said to her, look at me. What would I do in that situation? She's like, well, you wouldn't put up with that situation. Why wouldn't I put up with that situation? Well, because the way she's speaking to me is very much that you wouldn't let her speak to you in that way. Why wouldn't I? Well, because it's degrading or it's disrespectful. Okay. So then what would I do about that? Well, you would probably talk to her and say, I don't like the way you're speaking to me, or you don't want me to do that particular thing because I think you're taking the mick or something in respect of that, you're taking the mick out of me and I don't think that's right and I'm not going to do it. It's not my job or whatever it is. Yeah. And she put herself in my shoes. She changed her perspective. She put herself in my shoes. And because she trusts how I am and how I am as a person, it's very much that it gave her the confidence to go and face that person and say, I'm not putting up with doing all these things that you've asked me to do. I'm not putting up with you talking to me the way that you do. And within literally minutes, her boss changed her whole outlook on how she talked to her, how she spoke to her, how she was with her and what she got her to do. I mean, she was a slave driver for minimum wage. And I mean slave driver, things that weren't even nothing to do with her. It even come down to that the things that she was doing, which is her job, because the woman's business was at her home, she got my friend to look after her 3 children while she went out for shopping for an hour. But she wouldn't dare say no, in case obviously, she hurt her feelings. So it's very much that putting yourself in someone else's shoes or looking at in somebody else's way, as long as it's someone you trust and you can talk to about it, it will help you in your situation. Okay, so, you could always do that. So by taking action, if you don't feel confident enough yourself to take action, and then have a trusted friend that that is a positive person, that is very active, very proactive in what they do and take action, and learn off of them of what they would do and take that with you. Take their strength in whatever you need to do and look at it in their way. Okay, so hopefully, guys, that will help you on that side. Next one is trust yourself. By trusting yourself every day, look at yourself in the mirror and try to say to yourself, I trust myself in what I'm doing and what I'm saying. Tell yourself how great in what I'm doing. I'm doing it for a fantastic cause. Tell yourself that every day you're going to take action. Because by you not saying this and you thinking it, nothing ever gets done. But what happens is when you talk about these things every day and you say to yourself, your brain hears them. I know it sounds really weird, but that's what happens. Your brain hears them. And when your brain hears it, it gets used to you saying it. And once you say it, it then becomes true. The same as someone was being negative towards you. You know, if I turned around and said to you, are you having a bad day? Are you having a bad day? Are you having a bad day? Do you know what? Are you having a really bad day? By the end of that day, you've had enough. You know, I've had a really bad day. Because it's what's happened is you're constantly hearing it. But if you constantly tell yourself positive things, even every day, put your earphones in. Every morning I put my earphones in and I go onto YouTube and I listen to positivity. Yeah. No matter who it is or what it is. Whether it's Brad, whether it's Tony Robbins, whether, you know, it's somebody else. It doesn't matter who it is or what it is, but listen to positivity. If you need help with money, then listen to things about money. If you need things to build your self-esteem up, then listen to things about self-esteem. Because what that will do, your brain will listen to that. And once it listens to it, it will then take notice. And then what you'll find, without you even knowing about it, is that you will start uplifting your mood. And that's what will happen. Now, this is what I'm going to talk to you about. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of never done it online before. So I'm actually going to try to do it with you. And if you could actually take notice of what I'm saying to you, it would be absolutely amazing. Okay. So what I would like you to do, I'd like you all to close your eyes. Okay. Now keep them closed. And what I want you to do is, while your eyes are closed, I want you to imagine yourself in your kitchen. You're just standing there in your kitchen and you're looking at the fridge. No peeping. So you're in the fridge. Open the fridge and in there is a lemon. I want you to take that lemon out. Now you see this lemon, it's in there, it's in the bottom of the fridge. You're taking it out with your hand. As you take it out of your hand, you can feel the skin of the lemon. You can feel the bumps of the lemon. You can feel the smoothness on certain parts of it. You can feel where the ends are. Yeah. Now, what I want you to do with that lemon is, I want you to take it over to the counter. I want you to get a serrated knife and I want you to cut into that lemon. I want you to feel every serrated edge cutting into that lemon. And you can feel as it goes through the skin, as it goes through the soft parts. Yeah. Open that lemon up and you smell that fresh scent of lemon. It smells absolutely amazing. First thing in the morning, nice fresh smell. Now I want you to cut yourself a slice. And what I want you to do is, I want you to put that slice in your mouth. What does it taste like? Can you taste the bitterness? Can you taste the sourness? Can you taste exactly what you've got in your mouth? If any of you can actually taste that, hear it, smell it, see it, or anything else, or even touch it and you can feel it, put a comment down to say you can. Okay? Because what that does is, by you actually going through that, is that you went through that exercise and you could either feel the serratedness on the lemon and how it felt going through, or whether you could taste it when you had the bitterness in your mouth, or whether you could feel it as you was picking it up. You know, there's lots of things that you can feel and you could do, and it's all to do with your mind. Now, that's not even in front of you. That's not even real. But your mind tells you that that's what you could see. That's what you could smell. That's what you could taste. But it all comes down to fear and anxiety, and it's exactly the same. Yeah, it's what your imagination tells you is real, but it's not. So I just wanted to put that little exercise to you. Now, you've also got to think about that you've got consequences. And with the consequences is, if you don't take action, what are going to be your consequences? And if you do take the action, is there actually going to be any? So that also comes down to the fear thing as well. You know, what is the outcome? What is it that you fear most? What about the outcome of that fear? And why do you fear it? You know, if you prepare for the worst case, you know, whatever scenario that you're doing, if you prepare for the worst case scenario and you do for the best case scenario, if something bad actually happens, then it's not really that bad, because you've already thought about the worst thing. So, you know, it could be everything and anything. So, you know, that's what you've got to think about. Always think about different ways of looking at things. You know, take yourself out, think outside the box, think about how you would do something. Okay. So Susan's put on here, my mouth is watering. So you like lemon. But why was your mouth watering? Yeah, there was nothing there to make your mouth water. So it's exactly what I was saying. Is the fact is it's not real. So if you're having fear and anxiety, it's not a real thing. So there's no reason why your mouth should be watering. Okay, so it all comes down to what we tell ourselves, because when you close your eyes, it's what you heard. So, and that's what I was trying to explain to you, is if you say things about what you hear. So the other thing is to do is take one step at a time. Don't beat yourself up over things, because you know what? It's not about beating yourself up. It's not about, oh, why didn't I do that? Why can I do that? Why is it that, why me? Because all that does is set negative into motion, and that's not what you want to do. So it's very much is that change. Change is a hard thing. A lot of people don't like change. I love change. I think it's amazing, because I've looked on change that it's something new coming into my life. And yeah, sometimes it's like, even though something might be really, really good, but I might still sit there and go, but I might change it tomorrow. But the fact is, it's like, when it comes down to change is an amazing thing. And you should embrace every single change that you have, because whether it is a bad change or whether it's a good change, it doesn't matter. It's a change. Because if you wasn't changing, and then you're not living. If it's a good change, then fantastic. Do you know what? If it's a bad change, fantastic. Because if it's a bad change, you learn not to do that change again, and then you learn to do the right change next time. Okay? Because you know what? If you changed in to do that bad thing, you can change it again. All right? So that's what you've got to think about. So you've got to look forward to your outcome, no matter what situation. Because every single thing that you're doing, you are learning. Everything is an experiment in life, no matter what you do. Hang on, we've got another question from Susan here. Hi, Sarah, nice to see you, my darling. Susan has put, why me? Just sends me down the hole instead of saying, why not me? Exactly that. Well, do you know what, Susan? If I had something happen to me and it's not very nice, I don't sit there and go, oh, why me? Because as you said, it turns into a downward spiral, then that turns into depression. But the fact is, it's like, oh, do you know what? This is really bad and it's happened to me, but what can I learn from it? Him upstairs, he's not going to give you, I'm not talking about the neighbour upstairs if you're in a flat. He's not going to give you, or the universe is not going to give you, anything that you cannot handle. You are put here to handle all these situations in life, because that is life. That is what life is all about. It's all about growth. So, that's what you've got to do. Okay, you've got to keep growing. So yeah, as I was saying, keep going backwards and forwards. So one step at a time. So you've got to remember that every choice that you make teaches us something. No matter what it is, we get taught something. And you know what? In my book, by getting taught something, no matter what situation we're going in, is a positive. It's moving forward. Start looking forward to the changes. Start looking forward to something new. Don't be stuck in the past. Don't be stuck with, I really enjoyed that and I don't get that now. Instead of look at it, I really enjoyed that, but what can I do to make that better? What can I do to tag something on the end of it to make it amazing? Yeah. The next thing we do is worry. A lot of people worry. Now, I don't get this personally. I am just not a worrier, but I do have family that are worriers. My daughter worries about everything. If her tooth falls out, she worries about she's going to lose all her teeth. If her leg hurts, she's worried that she's breaking her bones. And I know Richard Frey goes through a lot of this, and I know that a lot of people with anxiety go through a lot of this. And I do understand that it's a certain condition. I do understand that, but I don't live in the past. I don't live in the future. I live for today. Today is a gift. Tomorrow never happens. Tomorrow never, ever comes. If you tell me I'm going to do something tomorrow, it never comes, because tomorrow becomes today. And the next day becomes today. So every day you're in the present, and no day are you in the future. So if anybody turns around and says to you, I'll do it tomorrow, it's never going to happen. Okay? You need to take it action, and you need to take it now. And that's an amazing thing, because once you get that in your head, that's what you need to do. And if you don't do it, slap yourself on the wrist. Because at the end of the day, all it does is stop you. Nobody else. It's just you. You're only letting yourself down. So, just don't worry about your worry. Don't worry about your past. Don't worry about what's happened in the past. Don't worry about if a boyfriend or girlfriend's let you down. Don't worry about if someone's beaten me and broken my back, you know, don't worry about that. That happened then. Look at me now. Look at where I am now and what I've achieved, what I've overcome, the person I've become. Yeah. And by doing that, you know, that makes you so much more of a positive person. You know, you've got to enjoy it each day as it comes. You live once, one time. Life is the only thing you can't keep going over and over again. It's not Groundhog Day. You know, every day is a day that you're living. And what you'll do is one day you'll look back and you'll go, I've just spent 4 years doing that, looking back at what happened, you know, instead of enjoying what you have. Yeah. So what I'm saying to you, today is a gift. Tomorrow never comes. Every day is today. And today is the only day that you need to worry about. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, just today. Okay. You've got to enjoy it. You've got to smile, you know, enjoy every day. So let's talk about the universe. Right, what we've got here. So Susan, you're on the ball today, my lovely. I'm loving it. Susan says, I say to myself, what can I learn from it? Has completely changed now. I feel about the hard stuff. Exactly. And the thing is, Susan, if you'd have looked at yourself 6 months ago and looked back on yourself and how you was as a person, yeah, and it would have been, I'm assuming, you tell me if I'm wrong, why me? Why did this have to happen to me? Why did I have to go through what I've gone through? Why am I in this situation now? Why is this happening to me? Yeah. And then you become negative and you become depressed and stuff like that. But now every day you're looking at yourself and you're turning around and saying to yourself, why not me? You know, it's absolutely amazing. It's great. And the thing is once you start feeling that way, positive things come towards you. I mean, you've just started broadcasting. Yeah. And that's absolutely an amazing thing on its own, because I remember a little time that you just couldn't even do that. And we had a conversation and you was very, you know, what am I going to do? But you took the step, you took the action. And now, and I rang you the other day and I said to you, you did an amazing broadcast and it was absolutely beautiful. And it was lovely to see you in such a comfortable environment. It was lovely to see you smiling on the camera and not shaking, you know. And this is the thing, it's expanding your mind and it's giving you positivity. And what have you got back from doing broadcasting? What have you got back from joining Yes You Can? What have you got back by being in the group with everybody else? Yeah. I know that you've got so much back. You know you've got so much back, you know, and it's absolutely amazing that, you know, when you get something like that with people, it's absolutely brilliant. And I love it. And, you know, it's amazing. Susan puts, 4 years ago, I was an empty shell. I have rebuilt myself from the inside bottom and it was so worth it. Absolutely. Whoop, whoop to the Susan Day. Exactly. And the thing is, it's like by building yourself up from rock bottom and going from nothing and saying, I am not putting up with this beep, 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 beep. Yeah. By doing that, look at what you've achieved now, my lovely. And, you know, I'm so proud of you of what you've done. And I just think you're absolutely brilliant. And you've got such an amazing heart. And, you know, you're even going to make me well up. So let's just talking about so much how lovely you are. So we're talking about the universe. So the universe. So a lot of things I don't know if you've noticed, a lot of attracts like. The universe, it's very much in the respect of, if you ask something, you'll get it. Have you noticed that? If you sit there and go, I don't want to be in this situation more, I'm going to move out of this situation, and you stand there, I'm not having this no more, I'm not doing it, you know, and you actually do that, what actually happens is all of a sudden things start changing. You know, it's like you start going, do you know what? I'm not putting up with what I've got anymore. I'm not doing it. Yeah. And by doing that, what happens is you've just been telling your brain, I'm not putting up with that no more. I am not doing that no more. So your brain goes, she's not putting up with it no more. She's not doing it no more. We ain't going to do that one no more. So, you know, and it tells yourself. And it's not until you get aggressive with yourself when you go, I'm not doing it. I'm not going there. I'm not putting up with it. I'm not doing it. You know, it's not until you get to that point that you go, I just can't go any lower. You know, that you sit there and all of a sudden you start crawling out of that hole and saying, look, I cannot get any lower. I am going to get myself up there. I'm going to crawl out of this hole. I'm going to make sure that I get where I need to get. I need to get on that surface. I need to get out of this hole and I need to get up there. Yeah. But until you start climbing, you stay in that hole. Yeah. And the thing is what you need to do is you need to keep climbing every single day without fail. That's what you need to do. Because at the end of the day, you know, if you fear that you won't get it, you won't get it. If you give yourself a reason not to do it, you won't do it. Give yourself every reason to do it. Give yourself everything you can to say, I'm going to do this. And the reasons why I'm going to do it is because of it's your life goal. It's what you want. It's how you want to behave. It's where your emotions you want to be. It's because you want to heal. There's so many different things. So many different things that you can put that to. The reasons why you want to keep going and going and going every step of every single way. I mean, you look at Brothers. Yeah, look at Bradley Chapman. You know, he has been kicked and punched and kicked and punched and put and squashed and stamped on and you know, and there's only so much that you can take until you sit there and go, but you know what? It takes the strength. It takes everything in you to go, do you know what? I am not going to be put down. I am not going to give up. I am not a weak person. I am going to do this and I'm going to get myself up there and I'm going to get where I need to get. Okay. And that's exactly what he's done. And look at what's going on. Look at what's happening in February. Look how amazing that's going to be. Look at all the videos that he's put on over the last few days. Look at all the new branding that he's done. Absolutely amazing. And that's what you can achieve when you don't give up. Because you know what? Your life is worth so much more than nothing. Because why would you even be here if you was worth nothing? You're here for a reason. Yeah? Live into that reason. Enjoy that reason. But live that life. You know, that's exactly what it is. You know, you've got to make sure you think yourself that you are good enough. You are good enough to achieve everything. You are good enough to achieve anything. And you can get wherever you want in your life. You've just got to believe in you. Believe in you. Because what you don't realize is how amazing you actually really are. You know, everybody that walks this earth is amazing. You're a miracle of life. And you just got to believe that. Believe it. It's absolutely amazing. It doesn't matter whether you've gone and left your job or someone sacked you or whether you've failed an exam. You've learned a lesson. And so answering your question from earlier, Susan, is even if you fail, it doesn't matter because it's not a failure. What you've done is you've learned a lesson. Okay, you have not failed. There is no failures in life. The only time you ever fail in life is when you are dead and you cannot get out of that situation. Okay, so we've got Susan put in, self-talk is everything. Exactly that, Susan. It is exactly that. I have feelings I have now after going live and doing a show has given me purpose and I'm so happy now. Amazing. I'm so excited. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. The fact is that you've got that, you know, and it is very much that. And the thing is, it's so many people in life just go in with blinkers on and they don't look up, they don't look down, they don't look sideways, they just look forward. How boring is that life that all you do every day, you wake up, you wash, you clean, you change, you stand there and do nothing, you go to bed. What purpose is that in life? What in life is that? You're not growing, you're not doing nothing, you're procrastinating. You know, you're just standing around waiting to die. I'm sorry that is so blunt and to the point, but that is exactly what's happening. You just stand there doing nothing. That is not the way life is meant to be. Life is about growth. Yeah, whether you look at the plants, whether you look at animals, whether you look at children, look at adults, life is about growth. You know, if you're not growing, you're not living. Yeah, exactly that, Susan. Never, ever, ever give up. You know, you don't. You brainwash yourself to believe you're not good enough, and you reverse the process and brainwash yourself into positivity and happiness and love. Woo woo, Susan, I'm loving it. This is going to be your next live, positivity, you know, and how you got out of it. And it's exactly that, you know, because what you did, you told yourself every day, I am good enough, I'm amazing, I'm brilliant, I can do this, and I'm going to do this. Yeah. And that's basically exactly what it is. And that runs exactly on to what I'm about to talk to, which is about being positive. And being positive, people want to be around you. Could you imagine, you know, if I'm sitting on a live to you right now and I was just talking to you like this and I was looking around like this and we didn't really want to talk like that, would you actually really want to speak to me? Would you really want to comment? Would you really want to sit there and come back and listen to my shows week after week, day after day? You know, you wouldn't. Because I'd be boring, because I'd be sitting on the fence doing nothing, because I'd be giving you nothing at all. Yeah. And what happens is when you've got positive people around you, you want to draw to them. You look how many people that draw to Bradley. Yeah. Look how many people that I speak to on a daily basis, you know, because I love giving positivity to people. You know, I love the fact is you go out there, you talk to people, you know, you get them into your circle, you chat to them, you know, you give out positive feelings. People come back. People want that. People need that. But when you do the other way around and you give out negative stuff and you give out sad feelings and you give out that you need help and you give out that you're like just on a downer and you're like, oh, what you do is that other person, you drain them. And it's like all of a sudden that person goes, yeah, I'm actually really busy today. Or it's, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be around this week. It's going to have to be next week because I can't do this week. Or, you know, anything you try and do to come away from that person. This is the way that you lose friends. This is the way that you lose family. This is the way that you lose people around you that actually want to be around you. Okay. You want to be positive in your life because what that does, that brings in positivity. And people want a bit of that. People want a bit of positivity. People want a bit of get up and go. They love it. It's you know, when people laugh, other people laugh. It is absolutely fantastic. You know, you want to stand out from the crowd. You want to be seen. You want to shout at the rooftops. I'm here. Look at me. Woohoo. You know, you want to do all that because you know what? That other person over there might be looking at you going, what is she or he doing? You know, because they don't know how to stand out from a crowd. But how does that make you feel? If you literally stood there right now and went, woohoo, you know, and just thought how amazing you felt and how amazing your day is and how brilliant everything is. How does that feel? You know, shout out to your screen. I can't hear you, you can only hear me. Yeah, but shout out to your screen. Tell you, woo, a couple of times. You know, listen to really good music. Listen to really bad music. How does it make you feel? Yeah, it's like when you break up with somebody. People listen to breakup songs. It makes them feel depressed. Then don't do it. Yeah, you want to listen. You know, if you break up with somebody, listen to positive songs because you know what? He doesn't need you. She doesn't need you. You know, at the end of the day, it's their loss. You know, you're amazing. You know, it's not you being big-headed. It's not that you're being arrogant. You're telling your brain because what that does, it stops you from becoming negative. It stops people, you know, coming around you and sucking the life out of you, sucking and draining it out of you. And that's not where you want to be in your life. So you want to make sure that you bring that positivity to the table because then what will happen? Other people around you will bring that positivity to the table. And then what will happen is by you being positive and having positive people around you, what will happen is that you will start becoming happier. And you'll enjoy your life and you'll have a purpose. Exactly what Susan Day just said. You know, by actually getting yourself out there, you actually have a purpose on what you want to do. You make yourself better. You make other people better. You rub off on other people rub off on you. It's the way of life, exactly what happens. Yeah. So I've got on here. So Susan's on form today. So the feelings I have now are going live. Right, we did that one already. Self-talk is everything. It is indeed exactly what I'm saying to you, Susan. Self-talk is absolutely everything. We've got brainwash yourself to believe not good enough. We've done that as well. And she's laughing, crying. I've had it all today. I used to be that person. Not anymore. Not one more second will I ever live there. Amazing. Don't you ever go back to that. Yeah, don't ever go back to that. It is not worth you going back to that. Because you know what? You know, when you think that positively about yourself and you start thinking positively about money, you're bringing money. When you think positively about things in your life and what's going on, that will start happening. When you think positive about another person that you want to be with, then that goes off, you know, that thinks positively and that rubs off. And everything you do in your life rubs off. Everything positive rubs onto a positive. If you want it that badly enough, you'll get it no matter what. Believe it. Yeah. You're already a miracle. Exactly. People are already miracles. And that's exactly what it is. you know, and people forget that. People just think, oh, what am I here for? You know, find what you're here for. Yeah. Know your goals. We're doing really well going straight onto the other one here, aren't we? We're doing really, really well. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So know what you want in your life. You know, strive towards something that you want every single day. If you want to be married by the time you're 30, if you want children by the time you're 25, if you want to be retired by the time you're 50, then strive towards that. Look at your end goal. Yeah, your end goal is here. You are here. What is your timeline that you need to do in the middle to make that happen? If you want that to happen, what of all these points, these bullet points, and everything else that you've got to put in between? Yeah, and then what you've got to do, I've got to stop saying, yeah, I don't know why I keep doing it. Yeah, so I'll do it again. I'm not doing too well here, am I? See, negative thought, terrible. Back to the positivity. So it's very much that look at your own result, look at your goal, where you want to be, what you want to do. I know what my goals are, and I'll go through those at the end. But it's very much that look at that goal and put in what you need. So, you know, if it's something to do with, you know, you want to pass your test when it comes down to your driving test, you know you've got to learn a 3-point turn. You know you've got to learn a reverse park. You know you've got to not knock somebody over at a pedestrian crossing. You know you've not got to go over a roundabout. You know what you've got to do. You know what you've not got to do to get there. And you just got to make sure that every single one that you hit, every single obstacle you come across, you literally get it, stumble all over it and go, I've conquered it. Then go to the next one. Then go to the next one. Because if you look at your goal all at once, you'll have this massive cloud. And it's like it'll be all this stuff, so much stuff. And you look at it and go, this is unachievable. I cannot achieve this goal. It is never going to happen. So what you do in this cloud is you pick bits out. I'll have this bit, and I'm going to do this bit first. I'll have this bit, and I'll do this bit second. And what you do is once you pick out and you deal with those one step at a time, once you do that, is this cloud gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and you're not even realizing it because all you're doing is concentrating on the one thing that you're dealing with. And once you deal with that, you know, you look up, that cloud's gone. You're like, well, what happened to this big massive cloud that I needed? What happened to this big massive goal that I had that I couldn't achieve? And then you realize, well, actually, of everything that you've done over the past couple of months, 6 months, year, 10 years, whatever you've decided to have it over, is you've actually achieved your goal and not even realized it. All you've done is move forward every single day. You know, move forward 1% every single day for a year, and you will move forward 365% in 1 year. 365%. Move forward once a week. Just do one thing a week in your business, in your life, whatever you're doing. One thing. That's 52%. Over half of better than what you was the year before. I mean, how amazing is that? When you break that down of what you actually need. If I turn around and said to you, I want you to be double the person you are today. I want you to be 100% better than what you are today. You need to do one thing every 3 to 4 days. One thing. No matter what it is, just do one thing. And you will be double the amount of what you are today. And that is an amazing thing, just knowing that. So, when you want something badly enough, take action and go and get it. Because that is the only way that you're going to get it. Because you don't expect other people to do things for you. You want something in your life, you've got to get it yourself. You've got to strive towards it. You've got to take the action. And you've literally got to get yourself out there and you've got to do it. Because if you don't, you're not going to get there. All right? Mind is a very powerful fear. Yeah, it's very powerful. The mind sits there. Fear is already embedded in it. No matter what it is, it's embedded in it. 5 seconds it takes for your mind to take over what you're doing. 5 seconds. So if you've made a decision, I am going to go and jump down 2 steps, and you went and did it, at the end you go, wow, I just done it. Do you know what? Next time I'm going to do 3. Next time I'm going to do 4. You know, don't push your luck too much. Right? But if you actually stood there and went, I'm going to jump down 2 steps, and you stood back, your brain will go, but what about if you broke your ankle? What happens if you had a sprain? What happens if you fell over at the bottom? Yeah? Don't let that happen. Take action. As soon as you think about it, do it. Because if you don't do it, you'll never do it. All right. So this is where it comes into the next bit. Tell yourself you can do it. So if you tell yourself you can do something, you will do it. Every day, tell yourself, I can do this. You know, I can stand up on that stage. I can make sure that I can stand up on that stage and I'm going to tell my story to the world, something that I've kept in myself for 7 whole years. I can do it. And I did it. Not bragging. Okay. You can do it too. You can. You know, you just got to believe. You got to push. You got to stretch. The mind gets stretched so much that the body evolves around. It's like, look at evolution. Yeah, you look at evolution. It's very much that if we come from, you know, the apes and come from the, you know, all the monkeys and everything else, we went on four arms and hands and everything. I'm not going to do monkeys. I'm sorry. I stopped myself from doing monkeys. I haven't got my mask on. All right. Don't even want to question with that one. So it's very much that, you know, when it comes down to evolving, look how we've evolved over the years. Look how we've evolved. Even look, right? Even look from now to 30 years ago. If I turn around and said to you that you're going to have a computer in your hand, that you can do dial-up telephone, that you can actually watch videos on, that you can have a camera on, that you can do everything on, you do it and go, pfft, and do you know what? I wouldn't even know how to use it anyway. Now, how many of us have one of these? How many of us? Millions of us have it, because we evolve. We evolve in around our circumstances. We evolve in, we're used to being one person and we become a couple. And then what we do is, by having a couple, we learn to compromise. And then by having a couple, we then have children. And not only the compromise with each other, is that then you have to change everything in your lifestyle to interact with those children and react with what you're doing with them. And then what happens is your life evolves in a lifestyle. You go on holiday as a family, you do everything as a family. And your brain, it just happens. It does that. And the thing is your brain is amazing, because when your brain is in the right space, when it's in the right way and it's working how it should be working, with you being in control of it, is that you can achieve anything. You can stretch your mind to anything. And then what you can do is you can just carry on and you can learn anything. Again, it comes into that self-belief. It really does. So you've got to remember, life isn't fair. Life isn't easy. But you know what? If life was really easy, would you appreciate it? Would you? Because at the end of the day, it's like anything. If you've got kids that have, you know, you've bought them a PlayStation for Christmas, do they appreciate it? If you bought them a CD, do you find the CDs all over the floor? If they buy it out of their own money, they treat it like gold, because they appreciate it, because they've actually put time and effort in to achieve it. And it's exactly the same as life. You know, when you've gone through so many adversities in your life, you learn to appreciate life a bit more. You appreciate what you've got around you. You appreciate your friends and family that you have and that love you, because you've been through so many bad things. But you know what? You can have somebody on this side of the room that is stuck up, that's had nothing. You know, it might be a toffee nose or whatever. You know, it could be that the fact is they've had nothing wrong with them. You know, they've had everything given to them. They, you know, and they think their life is amazing. They're brilliant. But then you've got the other people that have gone from adversity. They've gone through people dying around them. They've gone through hurt themselves. They've lost limbs. You know, they've gone through, you know, sexual abuse. They've gone through emotional abuse. They've gone through, you know, it could be a number of things that they go through on this hand. And then what happens? This person becomes absolutely amazing. This person is there to help not only themselves, but to help others to move forward and bring other people with them. And this person here, all they're worried about is themselves. All they're worried about is what they're going to do, where they're going to go in life, and if they're going to get there, and how many people are going to help them there, because they don't know how to do anything on their own. I wouldn't want to be this person. I'm quite happy being the person I am. You know, and it's all about life. It's all about keep moving forward. It's all about growth. It's all about expanding your mind. It's all about expanding yourself. Every single day is all about expanding. You've got to remember, you are not a victim of life. You are not. So take the bloody bull by the horns, we are. This is your horns of life. Take the bull by the horns and run with it. With all your might that you possibly can, run with it and enjoy it. Feel exhilarated by it. Everything that comes along, it doesn't matter if it's good, it doesn't matter if it's bad, because no matter what, it's amazing. If it's good, brilliant. If it's bad, it doesn't matter. It's a lesson, and it's learn. Appreciate what you have, you know, because then, you know, you just got to work for everything that you have. Some people go, yeah, I have to work for everything I have. Everything I blinking have in my life, I've got to work hard for. But you know what? It makes you a very appreciative person. And that's what people don't understand. You know, it's very much that people just think that, oh, well, he's a really nice person or she's a really nice person, but they don't see what's behind them. They don't see how much they've struggled. They don't see how much they've gone through. They don't see the adversities they've had in their life to actually be the person they are today. You know, the most amazing people are the people that have gone through so much. You know, and as I said, you're never given anything that you can't handle. You just got to make sure you keep the mindset on the right way. So before we go to the next part, I'm going to see what we've got here, because we've had quite a few people coming in and saying lots of stuff. Okay, so Susan has put, no one is perfect. No one. Be the best you can be. Find your gift. Reach your goals. Love that, Susan. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, it's exactly that. And do you know what? I would second that 100%. Our ancestors needed a negative mind to survive, to keep a lookout for predators. We don't need that so much now. Woo! That's exactly what I was saying. See, she read my mind. Roy, hi Roy, nice to see you, my lovely. Roy's put, greetings Maxine, great job filling in, you rock. Yeah, thank you very much. I was filling in for the first hour. Now this is my show. Welcome to Unlocking the Fearless You. It's 8 o'clock slot. So now we're going to the second version. So this won't be as long. Don't worry about that. But you've got me here for a bit longer. This is going to be a long one from me. So beautiful. Absolutely. You're doing amazing. That's what I like to see. Outstanding. Go from victim to victor. Absolutely love that. Absolutely beautiful. Brilliant. Do you know what, guys? If there's any of you out there want to ask any questions, you're more than welcome to. You know, we're talking about fear. We're talking about your future. We're talking about your accomplishments. You know, we're talking about everything today. We're talking about going through so much. And because I had an extra bit of time, I thought, well, do you know what? Let's go through something. I'm the fear fighter. You be the fear fighter. Let's all be the fear fighters. You know, let's fight that fear. Let's knock that fear down. That's exactly what it's about. Hi, Mike. Nice to see you, my lovely. Nice to see you. You've missed an hour already, so you have to go #replay. But we're talking about fears, accomplishments, and your future. So, yeah, so back to what Susan was saying a bit earlier. So 3 ways to fail. So if you're going to fail, you're going to fail. Nothing can stop it from happening. It happens. You know what? But what you got to do is, if you're going to fail, fail early. If you fail early, you can overcome it. If you fail often, it doesn't matter, because if you fail over and over and over again, you're closer to becoming successful. And you know what? As Brad always says, you fail forward. Always look forward. It's always a lesson. It's always another step. Treat it as a lesson. And that's exactly what that's all about. You know, it's a massive part. Failing is a massive part of success. Nobody in this life, and I mean nobody's life, whether it's millionaires, whether it's actors and actresses, no matter what it is, nobody in this life actually went and did it for the first time ever and achieved it. If you look at actors and actresses, did they go to, I don't know, LA and go out there and did one audition and they become famous? Did they? Of course they didn't. They went out and they went and did loads of parts. They went and go and checked loads of different things that they could try and do, and they went out and did lots of auditions, and they hopefully got one. And then they got one, and that was brilliant. So then what happened? They then tried for another one, and they were a bit 50-50. Should we take them? You know, people only see the success. You remember, if we go back, probably around about a month or so, I was talking about the iceberg. Yeah, you've got this massive iceberg, and people see this little tiny tip, but they don't see all this underneath. They don't see the failures. They don't see all the late nights. They don't see the 24 hours, 48 hours that you work every single day. They don't see that your life is falling apart at home. They don't see that your children don't see you. They don't see that you don't see daylight for 2 days in a row. They don't see the fact is that you've lost thousands upon thousands of pounds worth of money. They don't see all this bottom end. All they see is this tiny little tip going, hi, I'm successful. Come and see me. You know, that's all they see. But what it is underneath, you've got like 95% of it is underneath of all this stuff that's just absolutely shocking. And this is why so many businesses fail, because they literally get halfway up the iceberg and go, do you know what? I can't do this no more. I can't cope. I cannot do this roller coaster. I cannot be up 1 minute and be down the next. I cannot earn £1,000 a week 1 minute and then earn 60p the week after. You know, I can't do it. I can't afford it. I can't. That's all you hear is I can't. They are the people that fail. They are the people that don't fail forward. They are the people that don't fail often enough, because what they're doing is they stop. And when you stop, you never know what's happened. You imagine you're digging for gold, digging for diamonds. Yeah. Before you actually get to them diamonds, before you get to that gold, do you stop? What happens if it was 2 inches more you needed to dig? 2 inches to find your whole pot of gold, to find as many diamonds you could possibly carry. How about if you just went them extra 2 inches? And you know what, you dig them extra 2 inches and you go, do you know what? I dug that 2 inches and I didn't get there. But what happens if it's 2 inches lower than that? Okay, I'll dig another 2 inches. So you dig them other 2 inches and there's nothing there. And you're like, pulling me hair out here. I can't keep doing this. That's what business smells like. That's what failure smells like. Because you know what? The lessons that you've learned is 2 inches is not enough. You need to go another 2 inches. And you keep doing those 2 inches and 2 inches and 2 inches until you get there. So don't ever, ever think that you fail. Like I said, if you fail and you've fallen completely, you're dead, because you cannot pick yourself up. You cannot pick yourself up from that. That is failure. So what you've got to do, fail early, fail often, fail forward. It's a massive part of being successful. You know, you've got to extract your lessons from your failures. Every single failure that you've had has got a lesson in it. You've got to find it. You've got to use it. You've got to leverage it. You've got to bring it forward with you. You've got to take that bit out, put it in your little pouch, take it with you. And the next one that you go through, put it in your pouch. And then what you've got is that once you look in your pouch after 6 months, a year, 3 years, 4 years, whatever it is, you look at that pouch. It's not a pouch of failures. It's a pouch of lessons. And then what you do is you get all those lessons, you put them together. And what do? You become successful. And that's what you've got to do. So you've got to live your days being uncomfortable. You've got to live your days failing. You've got to live your days by taking action and embrace it, enjoy it. And that's what you've got to do. You've got to eliminate all the bad people in your life. You've got to eliminate all the bad situations in your life. You've got to know who you are. You've got to know what you are. You know, don't waste time on the negative. You know, negative people, negative situations you do not want around you. It doesn't serve you in any way, shape or form. It really doesn't. You want to know who you are, what you want to be, who you want to be, and know how you want to be. And then what you need to do is you want to know how you're going to get there, right? You want to believe in yourself, because if you believe in yourself, and anything is possible, no matter what, because belief is the biggest thing in this world. Believe in yourself. And what you've got to have with that is you've got to have self-discipline. Now, I'm going to come back over because I'm going to see who's been putting on the comments, because we've had some comments on here. So we've got everyone saying, Mike, you're back in the UK. Woohoo! Where are you going this time? Now, Mike, when am I going to get you on broadcasting? I need you on broadcasting, young man. I will be ringing you up after this broadcast. And I'm going to see if I can get you on, because I'd love you to join this broadcast. I think it'd be amazing. And have your own show on here. I'd love that. But also, I want to know what you're doing in the UK. Are you back in London, or are you traveling the rest of the time? Let me know. Susan's put, change your mindset, change your life. It's exactly that, Susan. Your mind is the most strongest thing in the world. You change that, you control you. It's exactly what you do. Live Masters will help you conquer your fear. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. And we've got, never failing in your learning from your experiences. Exactly, Mike. That's exactly what I say. You know, anything that you're doing is never a failure, no matter what you do. I would not be where I am today without Live Masters. Woohoo! Big up the mic. That's what it's all about. Jump out of your comfort zone with both feet. It's exactly that. You have got to jump out your comfort zone. Because if you stayed in your comfort zone, you wouldn't stretch. You wouldn't grow. And if you don't grow and you don't stretch, you don't get anywhere. You procrastinate. You procrastinate. That's you not having life. You're not having life. What's the point of being here? So it's exactly that. Comfort zones out the window. Exactly out the window. Oh, no, don't lose electricity. Listen to your speakers. They know their stuff. Oh, Susan, you are amazing. Roy's put, failure is a part of life. Move through it and move on. Yeah, it's exactly that. You've got to move on from it. Because you know what? If you don't move on, again, you're not living. So it comes down to self-discipline. So with self-discipline, it is the centre of everything. It is the centre of success. Because what it does, if you've got self-discipline, it helps you to take action. And if you can overcome your mind, as I said to you just now, you can overcome pretty much anything. Because your mind is the power of fear, anxieties, positivity, negativity, action, taking, no matter what you're doing, mind is the first front of everything. So you've got to make sure it's in the right place. So put your mindset in the right place for you to move forward. So let's go down to the core. Find out what your concerns are. I mean, what are your concerns? You know, in your life that you've led so far, what are the concerns that you've had? Go back to that particular time. Have you got a fear? Have you got an anxiety? Have you ever negative thought in something? Is something that you're doing you're feeling very negative about? Why? Why are you feeling very negative about it? What is it that's triggering your anxiety, your fears, your worries? What is it that's triggering it? If you go back to that core of what it actually is and you find it, you can overcome that trigger. That trigger then no longer becomes a trigger because you found what it is. And once you find what it is, you've then got to face your target. You know, pretend you've got a bow and arrow. Face your target. You know, and once you face it, you know, you just keep going for it and you keep taking action and you keep going and you keep letting go of them bows until you get there. And one of these days you're going to hit that bullseye. But you know what? If you don't try, and no arrows go flying, there'll be no bullseye because you haven't tried anything. Yeah, this is what you need to do. You've got to look at your target. And not only that, look for new results. If you're doing something and it's not working, don't keep doing it. You know, a lot of people go, I tried it once, I'll do it again. You know, I don't want to give up. I don't want to give up. You know, I'm going to do it again and again and again. But if you keep doing the same thing, you're going to get the same result. So change slightly what you're doing. And then what you do is you'll get a slightly different result. And by getting that slight different result, you'll then get new things. And you'll get new goals and you'll get new targets. And you'll hit different things that you'll want to hit. It might be the fact is that you've got 6 targets sitting in front of you. You want to hit the one in the middle. You've come slightly off balance and you've hit the one on the left-hand side. And you're like, well, I wasn't meant to hit that. Don't think it's a bad thing that you've got that before that. Take that, keep it, store it, carry on to the next one. And that's what you've got to do. You just got to keep hitting them goals. You've got to just keep going. You know, and, you know, when you talk about don't letting things get in the way, fear and anxiety gets in the way of so many things. So many people go to the grave not doing what they've ever wanted to do. What is your goal? What is it that one thing that you could turn and say all your life you've just always wanted to do? Write it down. I've always wanted to do, and then put your goal. Don't wish it. Don't dream it. It's a goal. It means it needs a plan. When it needs a plan, it needs an action. Yeah? So take action. Follow it. Make sure you reach that goal. You know, absolutely amazing. Susan says, taking losses into wins. Exactly that. Exactly that. So you've just got to just do. Ball by the horns and just do it. That's exactly what you've got to do. So I'm going to say to you 3 things that you need to be grateful for. What are they? What are your 3 things that you're grateful for? My 3 things in my life is I'm grateful for my children. I was told at 18, unless I had children time I was 25, I'd never have kids. You know, and here I am today with 2 beautiful children, 16 and 12. And I've got these 2 children that there's a possibility that I never would have had. So I'm very grateful for that. And it's absolutely amazing. I'm grateful for the roof over my head. Something so simple, but there is so many people, so many millions of people in this world that don't even have that. They have a shack. They have a cardboard box. They have twigs. They have leaves. They have nothing. They have stars. You know, be grateful for that you've actually got a roof over your head and you're sitting on this live today. You know, people see it as such a norm, but it's not. Because you know what? Be grateful that you're actually sitting on this, watching this today. Not just to listen to me, because obviously, you know, you can listen to anybody. But you're here today because you have internet, because you have money. Some people don't even have that. Be grateful for that. Be grateful for the food that you have on your table. Be grateful for everything in life. But every day, every single day, write down 3 things that you're grateful for. Because what you'll do, that will not only just keep you grounded, is that will also keep you moving forward. And it also will keep you a positive mind. Because instead of you sitting there going, oh, I ain't got this, or I haven't got the newest game, or I haven't got the newest pair of trainers, or I ain't got this and I ain't got that, you'd sit there and go, well, actually, I've got a roof over my head. I've got food on my table. I'm not sitting dehydrated. I'm not sitting there skin and bones. I'm not sitting in dirt and flies around my eyes and drinking dirty water. You know, be grateful for that, because not everybody gets what you've got today. And Susan's put, my children, my family, my friends, and my losses. Amazing. You're grateful for your losses. And that's amazing, because being grateful for that, it heals you for being grateful for that, because then what you've learned, you've experienced, and you've moved forward. And it's brilliant. This is absolutely amazing. So I want to know what yours are. Exactly the same as what Susan's just done. You know, it'd be nice for you to turn all your losses into wins. It'd be nice to be grateful for everything you got in life. So I've got a little bit of different now. I've gone things. I've got the H. I'm sorry. So what 3 things would you like to accomplish? You know, look at the things in your life, what you'd like to accomplish. I mean, I would love, my biggest thing that I would love, the reasons why I'm here today, the reasons why I spend hours and hours, you know, researching and going through my life experiences and spending time with you on here, is I would love to stop domestic violence. I would love for people to be positive. I would love to get people out of their, not just out of their comfort zone, but out of their negativity, to make them move forward, you know, and I would love that. And that is my thing that I want to accomplish. And I am not going to stop until I get there. I want to reach 1 million people, man, woman, or child. It doesn't matter who you are, you know, and I want to make sure that I do that. And that's the reason why I'm here, to make sure that I can move forward, move other people forward, and say, you can do this too. And this is exactly what that's all about. You know, I want to accomplish that my children grow up to be absolutely amazing. You know, they are already, but I want them to grow up to be happy. I want them to grow up to enjoy life. I want them to grow up to be positive. I want them to grow up and be able to grow up. I mean, there is children in different parts of the world that they get born and they last a couple of years, you know, and they get born and they've got nothing in their life. They're starving, you know, and I sit and look at that and I was like, I don't want my children to be like that. I want my children to accomplish their dreams. So I'm going to do everything I possibly can to make sure I get myself that way, to make sure they accomplish what they want. And that's a massive accomplishment for me. Now, I also want something that I suppose most parents take not advantage. Advantage is not the word. They just see it as a norm. Is my children don't get on with each other. They never have. Now, most people go, yeah, but it's brother and sister, that's what happens. But my one wasn't due to that. My one was due to the trauma of what happened. It was very much that my son was the centre of my husband's attention. And when my daughter was born, he was pushed aside completely, told to go upstairs, and he wasn't allowed downstairs while he was with her. And what they'd done, that become a very jealous streak, that become a very, you know, he didn't like her, he didn't like to be around her because she took everything away from him. And that's hard, because that has gone into now where he's 16 and she's 12, is that they don't speak, they don't go out together. Us going out as a family is non-existent, because they won't even be in the same room with each other without an argument. So I would just love, my biggest accomplishment would be to have my children give each other a cuddle, be in the same room as each other, you know, and people just take that as a norm. And I just love to take that as a norm, and it just never happened. So now you've heard mine, you've heard my 3, you've heard my, you know, my accomplishments that I'd like to accomplish and what I'm grateful for. What about yourself? You know, tell me what you want. Tell me what you're looking for. Tell me, you know, because it's all about things that you can do, things that, you know, get it out there. See it in words, see it up on the screen. I'll put it up on the screen for you. You know, let's get it out there. So, Susan, she's put, oh, we've got Roy has put, you still hit a target. Oh, hang on. There we go. You still hit a target. Susan's put, my children and family, my friends and my losses. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Being grateful for my losses is a new one for me. And I know that. I know that. And it's absolutely brilliant that the fact is it's a new one for you, because, you know, to be grateful for something like that is brilliant. She's also put, just this year, published author, helping others. Looking forward to seeing your poems in your new book. Helping others, not homeless. Saved my son's life and future. Speaking, have a website. Lost 50 pounds. Oh my. And a broadcaster. How amazing is that? How amazing is that? And if I would have spoke to you not even a couple of months ago, you would have told me how bad life was and what was going on. Now look, you've got it up there, sitting in front of you right there. You've got what you've accomplished this year so far. So far. And you've got so much more to come. So much more to come. And she's put, what I have not reached yet, no more disabled taking care of myself. That's right. It's exactly that. No more telling me you bad feet. No more telling me that you can't walk around. Get out there, girl. You know? I mean, it's like yesterday. I'll give you a whole example from yesterday. I had a bit of a problem yesterday. I picked up my daughter from school. Now, all of you know, well, not all of you, but some of you will know that I've got a broken back and I've got a crushed vertebrae of the L4 and the L5, and I've had it since 2011. And I was told that I was lucky not to be in a wheelchair, and it was due to because my husband broke my back. He stepped on my spine through domestic violence when he was drunk. Now that goes back that there's a lot of things that I couldn't do. There's a lot of things that, when it comes down to physically, that I can't do. So this particular time, you know, I take a lot of painkillers. I try not to take as many as possible. I try to, you know, conquer every day on its own without actually having the help to do it. I mean, sometimes it gets a little bit harsh and I have to, you know, take a painkiller or two and to get it out so I can carry on. And this particular time yesterday, I was literally picking my daughter up from school. Just any normal day, like every other day. And I stopped at the traffic lights, and all of a sudden I heard this loud beep. I was like, what's going on? And what I did is I looked over, and 2 cars in front of me, this woman had pulled out, and out, this is a big, massive, like, warrior truck. Big, massive black truck it was, and it was like one of those, like, massive ones. And I looked at her, and I was like, what's going on there? And she put her blinkers on, and she's like, she wasn't going anywhere. And all these people and it was at the crossroads, so you got 2 lots of traffic lights this way, 2 lots of traffic lights this way. Everyone's going past her, and she's stuck right in the middle. Everyone's going past her, beeping, honking her, shouting at her, and she's got out, and she's just done this. And I can see in the back window, it's just her and her children. My instinct kicked in, right? I got out of my car, I said to my daughter, stay there. I got out of my car at the traffic lights. I got on the back of her van, or car, or massive truck, or whatever you want to call it. And I pushed and I pushed and I pushed, and another lady come in and she pushed and pushed, and we got about 6 inches, and it was just too hard. I could feel my back hurting, I could feel my ankles hurting, I could feel my arms hurting, and I think I'm going to pay for this tomorrow. But I could not let her and her children sit in a really busy crossroads with everybody honking at her, just sitting there like a duck. You know, nobody getting out to help her, and just sitting there doing nothing and not knowing what to do. She couldn't go anywhere. She couldn't do anything. So there's me. I was like, right, action's got to be taken. So I got out. This other lady's got out. And obviously we're not being able to push this. And there's this one guy that comes out and he's like, I'm going to come and help. And I was like, thank God for that. You know, because there's no way we're going to get her. Because it was on a hill as well. So there's no way that we're going to get this up. But I thought if I got out and at least tried, even though I know I couldn't physically push something that much of a beast, is that somebody else would look at it and go, she needs help. And all that happened was another woman did it, because she saw her and her children in the car. And we know how she felt. And if it would be the other way around, we'd love it. The fact is that if someone helped us. So then what happened is this guy with a big white van come up and he said, look, I'll help tow. I've got a tow thing in the back. And he saw us pushing, and because he saw us pushing, he then come and helped her and towed her to the nearest garage. I mean, how amazing is that? And she said to me, thank you so much. There were so many people bibbing me. There were so many people honking me, and I couldn't do nothing. I can't go anywhere. So what I'm saying to you, ladies and gents, it's sometimes if you can't get anywhere on your own, you have to ask for help. Don't be scared to ask for help. You know, it's a natural thing. And the thing is, when people see other people in pain, the right people will draw towards you, and the right people will help you for what you need help with. And that's the thing. It's very much that I just wanted to share that story with you. It's probably not much to do with about today, but you know what I wanted to say to you, that, you know, by being positive, by doing something, I could have had fear myself of actually standing out in the middle of a road on a crossroads, you know, at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, where it was really, really busy. And I could have had the fear of getting run over. I could have the fear of what if I couldn't do it and people looked at, I would look really silly. You know, I didn't have that. I just saw that I had to take action, or she'll be sitting duck, and it'd take one person just to hit her. And then literally everyone would be stuffed. Everyone would just be sitting there doing nothing and not being able to go anywhere. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, that, you know, sometimes things unexpected come up. Don't fear them. Just go with the flow. It's absolutely fine. It's not a problem. Okay, we've got here. Oh, Serpa, she's on. She's in the house. Hello, Serpa. Lovely to see you, my lovely. Serpa coming from Finland. See, got Santa Claus coming over there next, so it won't be long now. Susan put, I will pay my own way. Exactly that, Susan. However, if you need help, then ask for it. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. So, going back to what I was going to say to you, it's 8:30 already. Look at me, 90 minutes in. Look at me go. So I want to say to you guys that if you've enjoyed this broadcast, please like, share, comment. And, you know, I love you interacting with me. I love you joining into the broadcast. I really do. And the thing is, it's very much that it's not just about me on these broadcasts. It's about you too. It's about you seeing your comments up there that heals you, that helps you, that thinks positively, that makes you move forward. You know, and at any time you can go back to the replays and you can listen to this again. #replay. Yeah, you can do that. That is not a problem. It's always going to be there. All you've got to do is go on Inspired to Achieve Global TV. Yeah, and I'm on there. All the videos that you've seen previously are all on there. Yeah, and if you think that we can help you any more than what we're already doing, we've got a massive event in February. I mean, there's a lot of people that are actually going to go to this event. You know, we've got 2,500 seats. So many people are going to be there. And, you know, I'm going to be up there on stage too. I'm going to be there. It's going to be my first time standing in front of so many people. Am I going to fear it? No, I'm not going to fear it. I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to enjoy it. Might have a few heart palpitations. Might have a bit of a belly turnover. That's all natural. It's all natural, you know. And if I trip up, I trip up. Not literally, but I mean as in trip up on my words. Because it does happen, you know. And don't worry about it. It's all good. It's absolutely fine. It is what it is. So I want to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I loved having you here as always. If you'd like to become a broadcaster yourself, we're open at the moment. I'm heading up the broadcasting team. So if any of you out there want to be a broadcaster, whether you want to be a broadcaster about your life, whether you want to be a broadcaster about your business, whether you want to help other people, whether you've got something to say that you want to give content out to help other people and to bring other people forward, then broadcasting is open to the general public. And I'll be heading it up and you'll be getting a phone call from me. And I want to say thank you so much for joining me. I know it's been a long live tonight. It's 90 minutes. I feel like Mrs. Braddus. Mrs. Bradley Chapman is the way forward, because I'm like Mrs. number 2. You know, he's going to get me on live soon doing 3 or 4 hours. I don't know if I can cope. So I want to say to you guys, thank you very much. Go have a bit of fun while you're on here. That's what it's all about. And I want to thank Serpa for coming in from Finland. I want to thank Susan Day for coming in from Oregon. I want to thank Roy coming in from Texas. I also want to thank Mike coming in. He's now in the UK at the moment, normally in Las Vegas. I also want to say Thank you. Hang on, I'm going down. Lots of Susan. Sarah. Oh, hi, Sarah G. It's nice to hear. Sorry, I missed you, my lovely. I missed you coming in. I do apologise. But thank you as also for Sarah for coming in. Absolutely amazing. Adam, thank you for joining me as always. Mr. Greg Walker, the big dreamer, thank you for coming in, my darling. It's lovely to see you here. And is there anyone? Nikki, thank you very much for joining. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow at the Pinewood Studios Christmas do. I will be there. So I want to thank all of you that have joined me now. I want to thank you, all of you that are actually going to join me on the replay. Text at the bottom, #replay. I think you're absolutely amazing. I think you're absolutely brilliant. If you're looking for tickets for the February event, then message me. You can go to Maxine English on Facebook. My lovely face is on there. So you can message me on there. You can also message the Inspired to Achieve Global TV page. Either me or Brad or Roxanne will pick that up. That's absolutely fine. We'll be there for you on that as well. If you want to be a broadcaster, again, you can message myself on that one and we can go through so much. Susan Day is one of our new broadcasters and she's absolutely amazing. She did her second show and the change from the first to the second was brilliant, even after one training session from Brad. And yeah, it was absolutely amazing. So I just want to say thank you very much. I love you all. Appreciate every single one of you that's here. And I want to say good night and take care. And I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.